Hey, so on Monday I dropped a veritable cornucopia of different toroid triangle related tricks, and I wanted to take some time to explain to you guys exactly how a lot of them are accomplished, because it might not be that obvious from watching them either in normal time or in slow motion like I recorded them. A couple of things that are going to be helpful to start off with: buzzsaws, of course, being able to separate out your hands and maintain a buzzsaw, also being able to maintain that on the outside. So far I'm not asking you to do anything I'm sure you haven't done a million times before. Here's where it gets interesting. Be able to do split time opposites. If you look down from above, one is going to go one way, one is going to go the other way in horizontal plane, yeah? And you'll note what that does is it makes it so that the poi essentially pass by each other on either side of the move, right? Cool. And of course the last thing is that you're going to need to know how to do a corkscrew, and you're going to need to know how to do it in both directions. Woo. There we go. Awesome. So first and foremost, this is kind of where that whole medley started, was playing around buzzsaw and then switching out to a buzzsaw going the opposite direction. You can see this from the side right here. And essentially what it feels like is if you start off in this buzzsaw kind of place right here, the moment that my right hand poi is on top, I'm going to push both of my hands out to the side, and you see what that forces them to do actually is pop out horizontally. And then when I pull them back together, what I'm doing is I'm trying to draw them back in a way that they go reverse buzzsaw. So I switch direction every time, right? So I push out, back together, forwards. I push out, back together, reverse. I push out, back together, forwards. I push out, back together, reverse, yeah? Now, there's another one that I do that's kind of similar, but it proceeds not from pushing out, but from pushing in. Whoops. Like this. If you've played around at all with this move, diagonal planes move that Alien John is famous for, you've got some of the groundwork built in right here. This one is harder, I'm not going to lie. Essentially what you're looking to do is create a place where you have this kind of buzzsaw feeling going, but your hands are separated, and when your left hand is at the top of its arc, right hand on bottom, you're going to switch them into a diagonal orientation. And you're going to do this in such a way that when they pop over to the non-native side, you can switch their orientation into the opposite diagonal. And then when your right hand poi is on top, your left hand poi is on bottom, you're going to switch them into, back into buzzsaw plane. And now you'll find that your direction is reversed. You're now in reverse buzzsaw. Let me show you that from the side here. So from here, I go to the diagonal plane and reverse my orientation and pull them back into buzzsaw. So now they're going reverse. And then I'm going to once again go diagonal, go to the other diagonal, and bring it back vertical. From the front it looks like this. I forwards buzzsaw, diagonal, other diagonal, reverse buzzsaw, diagonal, other diagonal, and we're back to that forwards buzzsaw place. And that part in the middle really feels very, very much like a corkscrew, the middle part of it, right? Whew. And to really get the form on this right, you're going to try and get those poi in as vertical planes as possible on either side, which is so much easier said than done. Awesome. And then the last one I showed, which is easily the hardest, is the one that you're going to need that split opposites horizontal plane kind of action for. And it doesn't really go through a vertical buzzsaw place. You basically go through two different orientations of these kind of atomic planes right here. But the easiest way, honestly, I've found to do this is to focus on what my left hand is doing, to make my left hand do its toroid triangle, and then just let the right hand kind of operate on kind of autopilot, which, you know, I'm right-handed, so that's easier for me. Whichever is your less dominant hand, once again, just focus on doing that triangle with the non-dominant hand on bottom, And the dominant hand on top should automatically kind of fall into doing an upside down triangle. I know that's kind of vague, but the moments you're really looking for here are these moments that are going to feel kind of like a buzzsaw that's been slightly split open into an atomic. And if you get that nice split time, same direction feel through the middle, you know you've got it, right? Whew. I'm not giving you guys anything easy this week, I'm sorry. So finally, I wanted to show one of the examples that I used for how you can incorporate these moves into flow, which is that if you're playing around in a plane shifting kind of situation, one of those things that you can do is, and you know, I do this all the time, is when you're in a plane shifting situation, you can go into a little corkscrew, right? Well, if you take that corkscrew feeling, you can actually switch it instead into one of these toroid triangles that we've just been talking about. So say, pop out, and when you pop back in, you can either switch into this orientation, or you can pop out, pop back in to the middle one, right? And the funny thing is that, you know, this one where we're going out and this one where we're going in are like inverted examples of each other. And I don't mean inversion as in the rev sense, but I mean that when I do this push outward, it makes the outside point of the triangle, which is the cross points where they're switching into horizontal plane, out to my sides. Whereas when I'm doing this one, I'm aiming that cross point across my body, right? So another move I showed in that video was the idea of performing an inversion and perhaps doing a cross point out, doing another inversion, and doing the cross point in, right? Or, you know, you could do it the opposite way, in which case it feels like you're kind of doing a corkscrew through the middle, inversion, push your arms out, woo, inversion, corkscrew through the middle, inversion, push your arms out, inversion, corkscrew through the middle, inversion, push your arms out, right? And really just what that is you're switching up which toroid triangle you're using, cross points out or cross points across. That's all there is really to it. So, yeah, I hope this was helpful, having some kind of an explanation how all this shit is done. So, thank you guys for watching, and have yourselves a great week. Peace.